Welcome, fellow seekers. Today we are jumping headfirst into a mystery from the Zohar that I promise you unlocks one of the most profound secrets for overcoming the biggest obstacles in your life. Seriously, this is not just some ancient tale, it's a blueprint for total mastery, and it's been hiding in plain sight. We're going to explore not just what happened at a well thousands of years ago, but the deep cosmic physics behind it, and more importantly, how that exact same physics is running the show with those immovable barriers in our own lives. So everything we're about to uncover, it all begins and really it all ends with this one powerful phrase, right from the sacred text, when Jacob was complete. Now listen, this isn't just some throwaway biographical detail. The Zohar is literally handing us the master key before the story even starts. The word for complete here is dishtalim, which comes from the root shlemut. It means wholeness, perfection, a state of absolute, total integration. So before we even get a glimpse of the well or the stone or the other shepherds, we're being told, point blank, that the main character here is operating from a completely unique state of being. And to really grasp the power of that state, well, let's set the scene. Okay, I want you to really picture this. Imagine it in 4K. The light is sharp, the air is thick with that ancient world heat. You see a well, the very source of life-giving water, the Mayim, and it's completely sealed off. But look closer. This isn't just any stone. The Zohar describes it as a manifestation of tukufu dedina kasha, the raw power of harsh, unyielding judgment. In Kabbalistic terms, this is pure din made physical. It's a cosmic lock, a spiritual obstruction. You can just feel the futility hanging in the air. You see the shepherds, right? They represent collective effort, but it's an ununified effort. They're strong guys, pushing, straining together, but their combined force does absolutely nothing. That stone, that perfect embodiment of obstruction, it just sits there, utterly unmoved. And then, everything changes. The whole dynamic just shifts. A lone figure, Jacob, approaches. He's not running in to join the struggle. He's not adding his brute force to theirs, no. He walks with this calm, centered presence. And the Zohar tells us something absolutely miraculous happens as he gets close. He sees the water, the Mayim, and it actually starts rising up towards him, as if it recognizes its true master. It's incredible. He puts his hand on the stone, and, with a single, fluid, almost gentle motion, he rolls it away. There's no grunting, no straining, no struggle. You have to understand, this wasn't a feat of strength. It was a reordering of reality itself. The unseen forces of resistance that were gluing that stone to the ground, they just dissolved. Okay, let's really dive into what just happened here. So this is it. This is the central mystery. It's the question that takes us way beyond the literal story and forces us to completely reconsider what power even is. The Zohar is not telling us that Jacob was secretly a bodybuilder, not at all. It's revealing a cosmic principle about the very nature of reality and, the incredible potential of a perfected individual. So what did Jacob have that all those other strong guys, even working together, completely lacked? It wasn't more force. It was a completely different kind of force. The secret, the sod of the story, is this one profound concept, Shlemut, wholeness. The reason Jacob could move that stone, the reason the Zohar told us right at the top, is because he was complete. He had perfected himself. He wasn't just another shepherd in the field. He was a fully integrated system. Think about that. His inner world was in such perfect harmony that the external world around him had no choice but to align with his will. For him, the stone wasn't some external problem to be solved. It was just a feature of reality that had to respond to his own internal state of being. So what does it really truly mean to be complete in this context? To get this, we have to look under the hood of reality itself, at the very building blocks of the cosmos, according to the Kabbalah. We're about to get into the deep mechanics of what makes the universe tick and exactly how Jacob became its master. Okay, so on one side, we have this cosmic force called chesed. This is unbounded giving, expansive kindness, mercy. The best way to think of it is like the principle of water. It's always flowing outward, always seeking to give. Its symbolic color is white. Then, on the other side, you have its opposite and its necessary partner, gevurah. This is discipline, restriction, severity, judgment. This is the principle of fire. It consumes and constricts. Its color is red. Now, all of reality exists in the dynamic tension between these two poles. You see, unchecked chesed is just a flood of chaos, but unchecked gevurah is a barren, static wasteland. You need both, in balance. So that stone sealing the well, It's not just a rock. It is a physical manifestation of gevura that has gone totally out of balance. It's become unmitigated. It's pure din, raw, harsh judgment. I want you to imagine it as a concentration of the color red, so intense that it's become a solid physical barrier. And its entire purpose is to stop the life-giving waters of chesed from flowing. Now, think about the other shepherds. They tried to fight this force with their own force, their own gevura. But here's the thing. You cannot overcome an essential cosmic force by just meeting it on its own terms. That's like fighting fire with more fire. You're just going to get burned, or in this case, completely exhausted and utterly defeated. And this is where Jacob's method is completely different. He is the living embodiment of a third central principle, Tiferet, which means beauty or harmony. He represents the middle column on the tree of life. His entire purpose is to integrate the right column of chesed and the left column of gevurah. The Kabbalistic texts literally say Jacob is made of both fire and water, and his job is to incline the fire towards the water. So he doesn't push against the red stone of gevurah. No. Instead, he introduces the balancing principle of white, of chesed, and he harmonizes them perfectly within himself. And this is the core principle right here. True mastery isn't about overpowering an obstacle. It's about resolving the cosmic imbalance that created the obstacle in the first place. The stone doesn't shatter into a million pieces. The din, that raw judgment that formed it, it just dissolves. It goes back into a balanced, harmonious state. Okay, so how in the world does this ancient cosmic mechanic apply to us today? I know it can feel a little abstract, but we can actually understand this principle of completion, of Shlemut, by looking at it through a couple of modern parables that, believe it or not, speak to the exact same underlying reality. All right, for the gamer in all of us, think of it this way. The shepherds, they're like a party of players trying to defeat a raid boss. That's the stone. And let's say they're all high-level warriors who have totally maxed out their strength stat. They're all just wailing on the boss with the same attack over and over. But the boss is immune. They fail. But Jacob is the player who didn't just grind one skill. He achieved Shlemut. He painstakingly leveled up his entire skill tree. Strength, wisdom, agility, magic resistance, the whole shebang. His character is perfectly balanced, and because of that, he unlocks a unique hidden ability. It allows him to just walk up to the boss and completely bypass the entire fight mechanic. He doesn't defeat the obstacle with brute force. He transcends the very conditions that made it an obstacle for everyone else. And for all the engineers and systems thinkers out there, try this one on for size. The shepherds are like standard users trying to access a protected resource. They're trying to brute force the password together, or maybe they're trying to get multiple layers of authentication to line up just right. But the system lock, the stone, is just too strong. Jacob, on the other hand, is the system itself, operating with full root or administrator privileges. His inner completion, his Shlemut, gives him access to the source code of reality. He doesn't need to guess the password. He is the password. He holds the master cryptographic key, and he just changes the permission on the file from no access to full access. He effortlessly bypasses the security protocol that binds everybody else. So here's the crucial point. This ancient story, this deep cosmic mechanic, it is not just about a patriarch from millennia ago. It's a blueprint. It's a guide for us, right here, right now, in our own lives, with our own seemingly immovable stones. Because, let's be honest, every single one of us has a stone in our life. We all have that one thing, that career ceiling that feels totally impenetrable no matter how hard you work, that relationship dynamic that seems hopelessly stuck in a negative loop, that internal struggle, that anxiety or self-doubt that feels so heavy and so permanent that no amount of pushing, no amount of sheer willpower seems to move it even a single inch. The lesson of Jacob in the stone is a radical, paradigm-shifting perspective. It's telling us to stop pushing, stop straining against the stone. The path to overcoming our greatest, most immovable challenges isn't outward through more force. It's inward through cultivating Shlemut. It's about finding the chesed and the gevura, the kindness and the discipline, the expansion and the contraction within ourselves and bringing them into a state of beautiful, harmonious balance. It's really about asking, where am I all gevura in my life, all criticism and discipline with no chesed, no self-compassion? Or where am I all chesed, all passive acceptance with no gevura, no structure to actually create change? And this really is the final thought we want to leave you with today. Take a look at that great stone in your own life. What would happen if you stopped seeing it as some external enemy that you have to conquer? What if instead you saw it as a diagnostic tool, a symptom of an internal imbalance?
What would happen if, instead of pushing harder and harder against it, you focused all of that energy inward, on integrating the opposing forces within yourself to achieve your own state of Shlemut? What might effortlessly shift then?
Thank you so much for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We really hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please do us a favor and like, subscribe, and share which part of this journey really touched your soul down in the comments. We love reading them. We'll see you in the next chapter.